Hey guys, welcome back to another video. Today I'm going to show you how to make a custom deck in Clash Royale. So I'm going to get a deck I don't really care about. I don't really care about this 2.6, whatever. Okay? I'm going to show you how to make a custom deck. Because a lot of people, they fall into the trap of just playing whatever is meta or playing some random deck that was meta 3 months ago and they just have high leveled and they're good at playing it. But that's not where the fun of Clash Royale comes from. The fun comes from when you make a deck and you can just strive with it, okay? So I'm gonna look at my cards here and I'm gonna figure out what type of deck I want to play. I'm feeling maybe kind of looking at my cards. Let's play. How about let's make a. Here we go. Let's make a Hog Rider deck. I don't really play Hog Rider. Actually, you know what? We'll put a twist on it. We'll make it a Hog Rider Mortar deck. Okay? Hog Rider Mortar. I've played Hog Rider alone. I've played Mortar alone. Actually, I made these two decks right here. Pretty successful. But never really played them together. So I'm looking here. What typically supports Mortar? Well, Tesla does. And Tesla is pretty good in Hog Rider decks. So we'll go here. Now I couldn't make it my, and because I'm playing a Mortar deck, and I might want to take out some like swarm troops they go nearby, we will make it our evolution here. Okay, I only got one Evo slot, but whatever. Now I always have at minimum one cycle card. I know most people, a lot of people have two, or a lot of people have none, or whatever. I just like to have a cycle. I think for this deck, since we're playing Hog Rider, since we might need freeze, we already have that. We're just gonna put an Ice Spear, okay? Keep it simple, whatever, okay? Now we're going to need our spell. I'm putting a log for our. Actually, you know, let's put in arrows. Put in arrows here, whatever, okay? Now we need some defensive material. Okay, we got 3 slots left, and we have technically 2 air troops, but mainly just 1 air. Okay, so I'm gonna go back here, and our swarm counter is not great. I mean, we have arrows, which is fine, but I think we need some more anti-air. I'm looking, trying to keep it cheap. We are gonna put in a Little Prince. Okay, Little Prince is a very good anti-air, very good defender. Also is good because it makes the knight for the Hog Rider, for not the knight, the whatever the ability, whatever the dude's called. It makes him the added shield for the Hog Rider. Okay, or meat shield. Then we're looking. We got 2 more. Our air is still kind of weak, so we're gonna add in. Just gonna add in. Well, our air is not actually too weak. But we're just gonna get in archers, you know, split archers. I like playing archers. Archers are fun, okay? We're looking here. We got a pretty good setup here. We got tanks. We got air defense. But now we really need a tank killer, okay? We don't really have much tank killers here. And we want a cheap one. I'm gonna go. Because we already have Tesla. Well, we do have good just straight damage. I'm looking at this deck. It looks like it could be kind of weak. Not weak, but just not ideal. Against hordes of cards, it's okay. I think we might need to add one more spell. And I think that spell, we're going to add Royal Delivery. I think we're going to add Delivery. It gets a tank. It's cheap, whatever, okay? And that's how you make a deck, okay? Now, I just kind of made that for you in real time. Well, you kind of heard the process I was doing. Well, I'll get a little bit more in depth on it. So basically, what I was doing is I figured out what type of deck you want to play. That's the first key, okay? Don't put in cards before you figure out what win conditions you want. I decided I'm going to play a Hog Rider Mortar deck. Cool, okay? Now I've got to figure out, okay, well, what does Hog Rider and Mortar have in common, okay? Because in your decks, you always want to have two, you don't always have to, but it is recommended to have two win conditions, and both of them work with Tesla. So I'm like, okay, cool, put Tesla in there. And for my Evo slot, I thought Tesla's perfect because when you use when you play Evo Tesla, it clears swarms. Okay. So then I'm looking, and I'm like, okay, what's our next weakness? Well, we got 4/4/4. Okay, that's kind of expensive. Our next weakness was we need to have a cycle card. We don't always have to have them in a deck, but it was a 4/4/4, and I was kind of like, okay, we need to get this cheaper by a little bit. Okay, so we put it in Ice Spirit. Not too much behind that. I'm looking, and our anti-air is pretty weak, okay? So we have Little Prince and Archers to deal with anti-air, okay? So let's go over the few things we have. So we have like Hog Rider, Giant, stuff like that, and Golems, because we have two buildings. Anti-Swarm from the Arrows, Little Prince ability, Ice Spirit, Royal Delivery, Tesla, and even Mortar. So we're very anti-Swarm. We have anti-air from all these cars here do anti-air, and we have anti-tank because we don't really have anti-tank, but we have enough stuff to stall it out, and Little Prince can speed up and do so much damage that it does become an anti-tank. That's why I made this deck, and I'm looking at this deck, and it looks pretty good. I mean, here's this other deck I made. I made these two decks here on my own. This one's just a random god drill. This one I also just kind of copied. This one I just made on my own. I thought this was pretty fun to play, but I don't really like Expo like that. This one is just from my Masteries, 2.6. This spam one, and then yeah. But that's how you make a deck. It really comes down to you can't fall back into the trap, okay? The trap is people play a deck, they get used to playing cards, and when they make a deck, they say, oh, I have to add this card, this card, this card, and then they just make the same deck again. Yeah, but